On today's episode of Kung Fu Hot Dog.
Okay, you can come.
Are you coming?
Kind of busy right now.
Well, I called it, and I'm not the only one, by the way. The Fantastic Four, the first steps, it's their last steps. There's a cliff, they're walking to the very edge, that's the cast of the FF, and they're falling off one by one. Oh dear, never mind. And Kevin Feige must be hugely and sorely disappointed that this film has performed so badly. Now, I said in my review of this film that I thought actually structurally wise, it's a better movie than Superman. It's certainly really good looking, but to be fair to Supes, that's also a good looking film, but has suffered from not having confirmation that we're going to get a director's cut of that movie, because when it is released, I'm not going to buy the normal theatrical version. I want to see what's on the DC cut, which is kind of funny to say that word even in the same sentence. And also there was a very strange comment about the Fantastic Four, that there isn't going to be a Matt Shakman director's cut for this movie on Blu-ray, because apparently the deleted scenes don't have complete special effects, therefore they can't do that, which obviously spells a bit of trouble ahead, that there were behind the scenes shenanigans going on. But the Fantastic Four is a fantastic flop. So let's get into this video today, folks, and without further ado, make sure you like, subscribe, and that you're still subscribed to my channel if you don't mind.
And I'm coming for it, Ken. I'm coming for the fucking money, you piece of shit.
I'm like getting the feeling of coming in the gym. I'm getting the feeling of coming at home. I'm getting the feeling.
In the ass end of space, even aliens watch Jason King with Kung Fu Hot Dog.
This is the greatest show I've seen in my life.
Duke Nukem likes this guy.
Approved by 1970s Robert Redford.
So courtesy of that Park Place, Fantastic Four projected to become Marvel's third flop of 2025, making 6 out of the 7 MCU films office losers, or should that be box office losers? You know where I'm going with this. Oh my god, it's just, well, look, I mean, Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby. Why did these two join together? I mean, and look, there's been a video that's resurfaced online regarding Pedro trying to snog another man's wife. The dude is gay, trust me. There's no way he likes chicks. It heads for flop territory with its 66% or more drop at the box office on its second weekend. Marvel's track record of producing more financial failures than successes is becoming commonplace and common knowledge. Whatever the cause, well, we know what it is. It's just wrong casting, all about the girl boss element, because again, Disney very much has the Lucasfilm brand under his belt with Star Wars. They're pushing the Rey movie, which is going nowhere as far as I'm concerned, and people are sick and tired of it. People who take normie siblings to watch films only to be told afterwards, oh, so that's why she's the girl boss, that's why we've got women taking over men's positions in the Marvel films. As I talked about in my review for the Fantastic Four, you had Miss Diversity as the head woman of a TV network, and in the 60s that would never have happened, but we know it's Earth 828. It's an alternate history where those wrongs have been righted. But let's carry on. Kevin Feige's grand plan for the 4th and 5th phases of Marvel have been as awful as the first 3 phases were, record-breaking in the other direction, which is absolutely true. I mean, is anybody excited for Spider-Man A Brand New Day when Tom Holland came out last week in that 30-second promo wearing the new Spidey suit, and it was a big bag of nothing, right? Since 2020, Marvel's once infallible studio films has now experienced a sharp downturn at the box office, with many of their recent theatrical releases failing to turn a profit by traditional Hollywood accounting standards, using the commonly accepted benchmark that a film must earn at least twice its production value, plus the P&A expenses to account for global marketing and distribution costs. A number of Marvel titles distributed by Disney have either flopped financially or barely broken even. An alarming trend for what was once the most bankable franchise in entertainment history. Because again, folks, I reiterate to you, when Endgame came to its conclusion, people thought that was the end of Marvel films as we know it, and Marvel thought, and they were very ignorant about this, that people will come on back for the next offering to Storm. Yep, she took out Galactus all by herself with little interjection from her team members. Oh my god. The factor of multiple things. Marvel had so many flops for so long that people no longer care about it. The next thing is Pedro or Pedro Pascal fatigue. And the third is the cast openly discussing their political views, which is a turn-off at best and a complete alienation of your fans. Because remember, folks, they don't make films for the fans anymore. They make films for themselves. Fuck the fans. That's what it's all about. So Fantastic Four First Steps grossed 11.7 million domestically in its second Friday and on the big screen, making a devastating 80% drop from its debut. And there's a link to that particular statistic. And yeah, look at all of this, folks. I mean, if you want to look at the failures, Shang-Chi, Black Widow, of course, you had the pandemic era, which people say either affected these performances. I saw Black Widow. It was absolute dog shit. All girl boss nonsense all over again. Nobody cared. I should have stayed at home that day, but there you go. Eternals, nobody remembers it. Thunderbolts. Like I said, Julia Louis-Dreyfus was the most annoying aspect of that movie, and John Walker should have clobbered her ass out of a window, but we never got that. As it stands, between analysts have labeled it a financial miss or at best razor-thin break-even. I mean, come on, they are really struggling to say a razor-thin break-even, but let me just show you some box office results, folks, and then maybe you can make up your own mind what you think about this all. So Nizar 2, I don't even know what Nizar 1's all about. It's a Japanese or Chinese anime of sorts. Again, I know there's no anime in China, but you know what I mean. You see, I don't. It's one of those two. Nizar sounds like it's a Chinese production. Lilo and Stitch has gone over 1 billion at the box office. I have no fucking idea why. A Minecraft movie is almost reaching that stumbling block of 1 billion. It's funny how Lilo and Stitch has actually beaten it to the post in that respect. Jurassic World Abortion, 766 million, which again, I am surprised by because, again, stick a dinosaur in it and people will go and watch. It's mind-boggling. How to DEI a Dragon, struggling in at 618 million. I knew that wasn't going to do well. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, 594 million, which it's still a bit of a flop in some respects because that film was delayed by many things, and also it wasn't as good as the previous entry. And I do love Fallout, by the way. Superman, okay, I've been waxing lyrical about this movie from James Gunn. 551 million, which is pretty good actually. Not bad since it was released on the 11th of July. I think in the end it's going to probably make around 650 million worldwide. But it could probably make more if they release a director's cut on Blu-ray. That's what I would say. F1, the movie, 545 million. That's on a 300 million estimated budget. So that's great to see. And that too will get a physical release because Warner Brothers' name appears before Apple Films at the beginning of that movie. So that's what I've been told. And they need to release that on physical media because F1 is such a great movie. And if they release a sequel rumored to star Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt, that would be absolutely amazing. I think that's a direction they should absolutely go in because the way F1 ends, you kind of know that the other guy, the diversity hire for the movie, will do his own thing. So it just leaves Brad Pitt to challenge somebody else, which is where I think Tom Cruise will probably come into the mix. And by the way, that's not even confirmed, but think about it. Tom meets Brad. They had this bit of a friendly handshake and chit chat at the premiere for F1. You don't think that Tom Cruise has worked with Joseph Kosinski before on Top Gun Maverick? Doesn't want to slice that glory again, because there'll be no more Mission Impossible films now for the time being until they find a suitable replacement, which I think now won't even be Glenn Powell. It'll be somebody else, somebody completely unknown, I think, because again, Glenn Powell and the Running Man remake, whatever you want to call it, when I saw that trailer, I was a bit downplayed by it all, actually, because again, there were certain elements of that trailer I just did not like, but it does not bode well for the Fantastic Four. I mean, yeah, I'm not surprised to say that I saw this one coming. It's even worse than I thought it would be, actually. And who do we blame for that? Well, we just blame Kevin Feige, don't we? That man lies more about a product than he cares to let on. We've got a Vision series coming out with Paul Bettany. Nobody cares. What's that going to do? I preferred Paul Bettany when he was playing Jarvis, the AI butler for Tony Stark. He was a real fun character. Sure, when he became Vision, it was good, but I do miss Jarvis. That was kind of the role I really kind of associated him in that respect. And of course, Kevin Feige, along with Kathleen Kennedy, have no idea what to do with their franchises anymore. It seems like they can't take no for an answer when people reject the girl boss fatigue. They reject diverse messages. Even in Deadpool and Wolverine, you couldn't get away from the body positive people at that TV network, which I can't remember what it's called now, because we don't care. And we wanted to see the film for the two main charismatic leads, right? Nobody else. We don't care. And I don't think Marvel actually gets that, and they never will. And the Fantastic Four are supposed to headline Avengers Doomsday, being released in December of 2026. Will that be a failure, or will it be a success? Or if, like me, when you watch Fantastic Four and that little scene at the end when you got Doctor Doom looking at Franklin Richards but doesn't turn around to the camera, and I said on the live stream last night, had he done that, it should have been a photograph of Jimmy Savile. That would have been absolutely hilarious. Well, that's my sick, twisted, demented version anyway. But if I were you folks, and if you were me, please like this video into oblivion, share it everywhere to spike that algorithm, and I will catch you catching me for the return of the next video.